thing that like after you're like 50 years old or 60, I guess, you like have to call your like wife or husband like dear or honey, because it's like you don't call me that, and if you called me that, I would be like, what? What?
Dear? I like saying dear. You're saying that because you told me something for the podcast, and I was like, I'm getting to that, dear.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
it's
see,
like,
that's more to me. It's more
what are
like
we,
an
65?
it's more of like a, annoyed thing.
Oh, okay, I get it.
Like, dear. Oh, brother, this guy stinks.
Yeah,
Like
see,
more like that.
That's funny too, because I've been saying "oh brother" a lot as like my
Oh boy.
my thing. But...
Yeah, those are just like random, just little tidbits there.
Yeah.
I don't even know. We just started. I don't even know what
I
we're
know,
talking
we were
about.
just in casual conversation.
What about couples that like at a certain age? Like, is there a certain age where you just start sleeping in separate beds, separate rooms? Because I know it eventually just becomes like one person's tired of the other person snoring, or one person really likes a firm mattress, or one person really likes a soft.
That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, or like in my case, my mom would love sleeping with her shows on, so like she would just and she loved sleeping in like a recliner, so she would always just sleep in the recliner. Yeah, something like that.
That's kind of like similar. Like I know, like my grandma and grandpa, they actually have separate bedrooms, and it's for exactly what you're saying. My grandpa snores really loud, and my grandma has like really bad like knee and back problems, so like it's just like hard for like someone to sleep with her.
Man,
that's usually it, man.
Yeah,
I feel like we're gonna. I love it. I was just gonna say, like, I hope we just like maybe me and you can like change like what do you call it?
You have your reel on and like it's flashing and like it's about to give me epilepsy because I'm like, what is that flashing out of the corner of my eye?
It's honestly not my fault that Instagram takes 4 hours to upload a reel.
Jesus Christ, give it a rest. No, I'm just kidding. What were you saying?
Yeah, just that, like, I hope we can, like, kind of break, like, this... Is it a stigma? Am I using that word correctly?
Yeah.
Well, if we break the stigma and we, like, we're gonna sleep together forever.
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. No. I'm just in a very...
Yeah, so what are we talking about today?
Well, I was going to say, speaking of R.I.P., Ozzy Osbourne and Hulk Hogan died this week. They passed on.
Don't forget about Malcolm.
To the great beyond.
I don't know his name. I just know his
from the Cosby Show, and then of course I'm sure there's a lot of other. I mean, people go every day, and sad truth.
Yeah.
But of course,
yeah.
Not many people get to leave such a powerful impact.
Yeah. Not many celebrities a day, but this past week has just been crazy with that. Like it's just like what people were literally afraid because something like a celebrity like passed like literally like I think it was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So everybody was like, what's gonna happen Friday? Yeah. Thankfully nothing, but.
And they're always saying like in threes, and that's what it was. It was Ozzy, Hogan, and then fill in the blank of their favorite local celebrity that passed. And I mean, it just sad. I mean, I'm not saying that to be like, I'm not trying to be rude, but just all the way around.
Yeah, and it was just like really crazy. I feel like Hulk Hogan was kind of like, well, we're gonna talk about this kind of more.
Yeah. If you're a wrestling fan, follow Jobber Circle. Wrestling podcast. We'll get more into Hulk, but that's our whole separate podcast, wrestling podcast. So we'll get on to that because I got plenty to say about that. And Ozzy Osbourne, I mean, come on.
Yeah, that was actually kind of sad. I know a lot of people like. Wasn't there like a I don't know if I can like say it or you have to, but suicide like pact between him and Sharon, was that like a thing?
I think it was so bad that they didn't even get to that point, right?
Yeah, because everybody like whenever he did his final show, a lot of people said like, well, that him and Sharon have this thing that they're gonna travel and do this together, and it's just like, well, he's not gonna miss Kelly's wedding, so they're gonna wait, but it's just like,
I think it didn't.
When it's time, it's time.
It was pretty bad, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's rocking on in the great beyond, but
that was good.
Really?
You just rhymed.
Just right off the dome. No, I'm just kidding. So but there was a point I wanted to make. But then I just found out today about the dozen roses that he in the last minute he set up something where he's gonna be sending a dozen black roses to Sharon every week until she passes.
Okay, now my freaking like mind just immediately thinks like, how does one do that?
We were talking about that. I was like, did he just go in there and just drop a bill and then say, hey, make sure you get this done every week? And then you were like, well, what if the flower shop closes? I was like, but then, he probably just set something up where somebody's in charge of that.
Yeah.
Maybe it is like every 5 years or something. They got to go and renew it or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, it must be nice to have those problems and try to figure that out.
Yeah, or you know what? Now that I'm like thinking further about it, it could possibly be like, for all we know, it could be like a grocery store. It's like a grocery store is not going anywhere.
True.
You know?
Could be like HEB.
Yeah.
So HEB.
No.
He made a pact with the
It
HEB.
could be a Kroger.
Yeah, he made a pact with the Kroger CEOs. No, but yeah, I would. Yeah, I'm sure every husband would love to do that, but every week, talk about that's a lot. I mean, shoot, like, yeah,
No.
like, what would be like the steps to that? Like, of course, every week, and then every holiday, and then I would say every week, every month.
Okay.
If you can send flowers to your wife every month after
Every
you,
month.
after you pass.
How do you decide what day?
It would be random.
Yeah.
That would be cool. The best thing
Yeah.
random out of the month. That way you get
Uh-huh.
surprises. You could be having a bad day and then boom, the roses show up. Like
It could be like one of those, just like the guilt takes over, or not the guilt, the grief.
grief.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the grief takes over, and you just like, man, that's a
Mhm.
good, like scenario type thing. But so
And
then
then
after monthly would be
with the holidays
okay, yeah.
and then
Major
major
holidays.
yes, like
Major.
Mother's Day and
What I said, birthday and Mother's Day.
Maybe Christmas. So there would be levels to the
Mhm.
how many
Valentine's.
holidays. Yes,
There you go.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then I guess the bottom would probably be like once a year.
And see, it's like this can literally go so much deeper because it really depends on like the relationship between the person.
Yeah.
Because like obviously like Ozzy and Sharon,
Yeah.
husband wife, so it's like ideally the major holidays would be like Valentine's, birthday, and Mother's Day because she was a mother.
Day.
What?
Leif Erickson's Day from SpongeBob. I am totally when I die, I'm gonna send you flowers every Leif Erikson Day.
I'll remember. But yeah, so then like of course like if it was like a a sister or brother, it would be probably like birthday, Christmas. You mix them up. So
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
that's really cool. If that is true, I hope it is because Sharon
We'll just
deserves
say
it.
it's true.
Yeah.
And now Ozzy is
We
reincarnated
love you,
as
Sharon.
now he's now Aquaman as Trisha Payeta's baby.
Okay, yeah, that
It-
kind of freaks me out.
Is Trisha just using her children to name like Malibu Barbie, Elvis, Aquaman? Is this like a way of her like trying to get like rights to the names? Because like those names are obviously like trademarked, right?
Right.
So you can't unless you buy the names outright, you can't own them. But if it's your name or your child's name, you technically own them.
Yeah, because so realistically, I don't know if I sent you this or if I just saw this, but Moses, her husband, actually came out with the video and was
name
like,
is Moses. Wow.
Moses Harmon, I think.
Oh.
But yeah, so he actually came out with the video that was like basically explaining like, hey, like I see your comments. If I know y'all may think that like Aquaman is a funny name or you want to make fun of it, blah blah blah. And he said like literally the best quote, and I'm gonna quote him right now. He says, "If you think that my son is gonna get bullied in school, you're the bully. You're the type of person that would be the bully, basically." Because it's like he explained basically and further, you can go and find it on TikTok is where I saw it, but he explained further like the meaning behind it, and they have like this connection with water. Why is that so funny?
The meaning? He went on to explain the meaning of Aquaman.
I thought it was genuine. I thought that he said...
Wait, so he said not to make fun of his kid Aquaman or you're a bully, and then he went on to try to redefine what Aquaman is?
Okay.
Is that what you're telling me?
That is what I'm telling you.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just what I'm saying is that there's a meaning behind each one. It's just like a funny way of doing it.
So, back to my point, they're trying to redefine these names.
Basically.
What are we even talking about here?
Yeah.
Are we on the same
It's
page?
just-
I feel like we're not.
Well, I'm more
You're
of like that I understand it.
Okay. And I'm not trying to. At the end of the day, I'm not trying to hate, but it's just
I'm like,
funny.
yeah,
It's just
like,
funny. I just like to laugh.
Yeah, it's like, how I see it is like their child's like not a joke to them, so like obviously it has to have something behind it.
Yeah.
That actually like makes sense.
Well, see, okay, I would hope it has something behind it because like, I don't know.
For sure, but that's just what I was adding. That's what I was saying is that like a lot of people like of course made fun of it because of the obvious, but
I mean, yeah, pretty obvious.
I wonder. I'm also wondering if Jason Momoa has commented on the situation.
Right, he should. They should have
Or
named their
DC.
kid. Should have named their kid Coldplay.
Coldplay. No, they should have named it Astronomer Piatus.
Oh gosh, yeah. I don't even want to. Yeah, I don't want to go deep on that because obviously that's been everywhere for the past week. The whole Coldplay, cheating scam. I mean, that's like, okay, come on. Like, if you're gonna cheat, like, first of all, don't. But if you're going to,
Thanks, babe.
yes. But if you're going to, don't be so dumb and out in the open like that. You gotta find like an alley, a car, some back lot. That's how you cheat.
I know you said. I'm like, oh, he seems to know a lot about this. No, what I was just gonna like.
An
it's
alley
funny.
back lot. It's like some Grand Theft Auto stuff. But anyway,
it's funny that you bring that up because, and it's also funny that you say that you don't want to get too into it because I have a few questions, and it's for a simple fact as to I want to know why you chose a Coldplay concert. Why, if it was a company like organized thing, there were other employees there? So are you telling me that the employees were in on it? Like, what do you? It was a company.
No, because there's been other pictures of like maybe they could have got tipped off, but there's like pictures from like the rest of the concert, like in the beginning before that happened, and they're literally standing in the same spot, like holding each other, like for like the whole concert. So it's like, of course, you could see them from different views. So of course the cameraman's gonna be like, oh, when we show like the kiss cam, whatever, obviously we're gonna show them because they've been literally holding each other for the past 3 hours.
Right. Because those people are kind of like scoping the people who do those cams like that, they're scoping out the audience.
Oh yeah, there's whole production trucks. Like you'd be surprised. Well, I don't know if it's something that big. I would say so, or at least the floor production where it's like a pit area with a bunch of screens. I've seen that where they just have it a pit, and yeah, those screens just have like are essentially like security cameras / like action cameras, right, where they can see full clear, and they're like, okay, right there.
Is that how they do those like lookalike cameras at
yes,
at basketball games?
Yeah. I'm all acting like I know a thing in production. I took one class on it in college.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I was just and that's what I was saying too, or that's what I was gonna ask too, is that did you hear that so basically the reason why they were there to begin with was because, like I said, it was like a company organized event, and multiple people from Astronomer basically were there, and that apparently after the incident they like fired their like social media or like creator who got them the tickets in the first place. That's kind of messed up.
Yeah, because
that was like his last action.
I gave you the tickets. I didn't say for y'all to get busted there. And if
he's like,
was both of them on ticket? They were both on. Wait, so they got basically paid by their company to go to the Coldplay concert?
Yeah,
or get free incentive for the company.
That's
to go
why they were like located in a suite.
And why would they, if they know they're on essentially a company field trip, why would they be doing that?
They just weren't expecting to like.
That doesn't.
Their wives weren't gonna.
It's a distraction, people. It's all a distraction.
Well, I mean, that's honestly a really good point because, that's when this stuff happens because people are still talking about it because, like he resigned, she resigned, and apparently Astronomer made a statement about it, and they hired Gwyneth Paltrow to, you know who that is, right?
Yeah.
They hired Gwyneth Paltrow to like do the video, and apparently she's the ex of the Coldplay guy.
What?
Yeah, so everybody was like, okay, Astronomer's being kind of like fishy. Yeah. Or like what do you call it when you're just trying to get back at somebody?
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I know the word.
I literally had a mind blank. Yeah, they're just trying to be just whole thing smells of fish.
Yep. Pretty much.
Shit. What else we got going on? What else do you want to talk about? What's been going on with our life before we get through this list?
We watched Happy Gilmore.
Oh yeah, that was a recent movie we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, Happy Gilmore 2. If you haven't seen Happy Gilmore 2, skip to the next chapter of this podcast. But if you have, we're gonna talk about it right now. 10
out of 10 recommend.
Yeah.
For sure. Like this movie literally, we were like, if we weren't laughing, we were crying.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yes. And we were just laughing. We were just so excited for the movie too. We're just laughing at things that like, I know, we just realized that like only Adam Sandler could like make that funny.
Yeah, for sure. Yes. Like, yeah, there were certain parts, and then my favorite part I think was like all like the nods that he did to everybody from the first movie.
Yes,
Like
those are my favorite.
he made sure that everybody was included, and that
Yes.
was my favorite part. Like,
Yes.
and of course, you know, seeing all the celebrities and like people you didn't notice, and then it was just cool to even learn about celebrities that we didn't even know that we learned of. Like, oh, that's who that was, you know?
Yes. And then, like, because when you first told me the plot of, like, oh, he's trying to raise money for his daughter's ballet school, I was like, that's kind of, like, where are they going to really go with that? Like, how are they going to do, like, villain? And, you know, we all thought Shooter McGavin was going to be, like, a type of villain.
Yeah.
He kind of was in the beginning, but not really. And then,
they partnered up.
It's like the typical Vegeta story, you know, just starts as a Piccolo Vegeta story, starts as a villain, then becomes one of the good guys.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it just that was good, and kind of how they spun it with like, yeah, he won the money, but then it ended up being really about that Maxi golf whatever company.
Yeah.
So yeah, that I don't know. I'm really into like where they go with the plot, and they seem to kind of like veered in a cool way.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people didn't like it, but I thought it worked. For a Netflix movie, yeah, it works. Come on.
The one thing that I would change was that Adam Sandler or Happy didn't give Shooter the gold jacket. After
they should have done that.
They basically like made that like a Netflix clip. I literally said that to you earlier.
But then it would kind of be weird in the movie for him to just give him a jacket, and because he even says like Happy says like take it when he says you took my golden jacket in the graveyard. He's like, take it, I have 5 more.
Yes.
So it would kind of be like a he didn't earn it type of thing. Like, so would he really appreciate it? You know?
Oh, okay.
If they did like a post-credit scene, flash forward to like the next year, and he wins they show him winning the gold jacket the next year, then that would have been cool.
That totally makes more sense. See, I'm glad we literally have this so we can talk about it, and like I can like analyze it a little bit better.
I have a lot of coffee. I've had a lot of coffee, so my brain isn't wired.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was like saying few words do trick there. Like I was like not saying certain words. It's like, why say more word when few word do trick?
Wow. Yeah, we have Kevin Malone here today.
Fantastic Four is coming out. And the Superman came out. We hopefully we'll watch Superman and talk about it. Yeah. I'll always watch. I'll throw up a bootleg and I'm just kidding. It's hard to go to the movies when you have a toddler.
Yep. Who doesn't like watching movies?
No babysitter, so you know.
Yeah.
We got it. Fantastic Four is coming out, so I'm, I think it'll be all right. You know, it's probably, I've already heard it's not going to be like as big or not as big as any like of the, last Avengers movie, but it's still nonetheless, it's an important movie. What was the last big movie that came out before this? It was like Deadpool. Yeah, Deadpool and Wolverine.
I would say Deadpool.
Oh, and the Thunderbolts, but that was kind of.
That kind of like that didn't they have like an end credit scene that kind of.
Yes, that's what it was. Yeah. That was kind of like, and anyway.
Yeah.
But Pedro Pascal, like I said, I've always called bullshit on the anxiety thing. Mm-hmm. Like when you have anxiety, just to like rub up on your female co-stars like that. And like in this clip, like she's even telling him like, I feel like she like hit his hand and was like too low.
Yeah, that was kind of like a little like, you need to like watch out what you're doing.
But there's other clips where they're like fucking talking and holding each other, playing patty cake and shit. I'm like, what is that? Like really, dude? That's your anxiety?
Uh-huh.
Like, okay. As someone who has real social anxiety, let me tell you something about social anxiety. The last thing you want when you're out in the open like that is to touch someone or to be touched. Because when you have social anxiety, everybody could be staring straight. You still feel like everybody in the room is staring at you. You feel like, or if nobody's looking at you, you feel like everybody in the room is listening to you breathing. That's how it is. And like when you have social anxiety, I have moments where I'm like, okay, I don't want to breathe out my mouth because they can hear that. And then, okay, if I breathe out my nose, they can hear that. And then, like, you're thinking about it so much, you're like, okay, I haven't breathed. Now I need to breathe. Like, it's like, you don't just want to fucking touch somebody's pussy because you have social anxiety, okay? If you have social anxiety, that's the last thing you want to do is touch somebody because then you're automatically thinking everybody is watching me touch this person and they're literally looking at my fingertips. And that's what social anxiety is, Pedro Pascal, okay? Cover it up. If you want to be a creep, cover it up better. All right? Not the social anxiety.
Yeah.
This is real. This is what real social anxiety is.
The way that he just just said like that, the way that he just explained like that's just what it is. Like that just makes no sense because like you said, coming from somebody who like really like deals with it, like what it's really like. And one thing I did notice is that I think maybe is in this video specifically, neither one of them are wearing a wedding ring, so who knows what goes on behind the scenes.
Who's she with? What's her name?
Vanessa Kirby.
We're gonna get the tea right now.
We're gonna get the tea.
Vanessa Kirby hubby.
Yeah. Hubby.
Either him or...
Paul Rabiel?
Oh, why did I freaking...
Who is that? Oh, look. Are they still together? Yes. Well, then why isn't she wearing a wedding ring? It doesn't look so, right?
Well, she was pregnant, so, like, they literally just had a baby, right? President of Premier Lacrosse League? Ooh, that's cool.
I was going to say, what a loser.
No, lacrosse is... Well, I mean, lacrosse is like, yeah, the dudes that... Like, the lacrosse is like a frat sport. It's like a legit frat sport. I totally
see that.
Yeah.
I totally see that.
Yeah. It's like a douchebag frat sport. Oh, that's Jobber Cirque. Jobber Circle Jerk. You know I was on the poop cruise. Well, 6 months before it happened.
6 months
I was
prior.
technically on the Carnival Trial, but I wasn't on the actual poop cruise.
Didn't they change
I just like to use that as clickbait.
They changed the name, right? It's like the sunrise or
I can't believe that. I can't believe that. But yeah, I hope when I was on that thing, when I was on the Carnival Triumph, they had like a little shopping area, that little candy store, and they had a freaking fake jewelry store where this guy I thought was selling me a legit gold necklace for $100, and I was like, oh, maybe it's cheaper because like we're overseas, like we're in international waters, so that's why he's able to sell this gold so cheap. Ended up being a fake gold necklace, so I hope that guy's room got full of shit.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so I'm so glad that you brought this up because I wanted to ask, like, being as somebody who literally within a year, you can't tell me that everything, like if you've seen the documentary on Netflix, you can't tell me that everything was already kind of messing up, considering, like I said, it was less than a year before that happened and that you visited. So like, was there anything that like kind of like stuck out to you? Like,
all I remember is because like I didn't even drink or nothing too. I think I had one drink, but I didn't really, I was like 18, but all I remember is eating all the ice cream and burgers like 24/7, like getting 10 pounds on the cruise. But no, the first thing I would say is the most disappointing thing was the water slides weren't working. I was like, we got a pool. You're telling me the water slides ain't working? So for some reason, the water slides were under maintenance, and then they even told us like, oh, they'll be up. Like every day they told us, oh, next day, and then it was the last night, and we're like, okay, I guess we're not getting fucking water slides. But and then because people think like I even took Dramamine, and I freaking took the Dramamine pill. I had the wristband. I had the thing behind the ear. You'd think you'd feel the rock in the boat. There was only 2 times we actually felt the boat rock, and one time was actually freaky. I feel like the first time was like kind of like a big, just rough waters, but one time was freaky because it actually felt like we stalled, like we felt like a whoa, and then like we looked out the window and like the boat was like kind of like it almost looked like it was drifting, and then it just like it seemed like it just like kicked back on, and we're just like, okay, that was weird, so that probably was something.
That literally sounds like when you're like driving your car and you can like tell like, oh my god, this shit's about to break down.
Oh, you know what it was almost like? It was almost like something stopped and like the backups kicked in. That's almost what it was like.
Oh man,
like when backup generators kick in or something.
The generators.
Yeah, it was almost like that because it was like for not even a full minute. It was like okay, that was weird.
I'd be like, get me off this cruise.
Yeah, they were just like, yeah, ice cream, burgers. I ate so many.
All the older people are probably like, yeah, booze.
Yes, yeah. Now, if I ever go on a cruise, I'm getting that free drink. Or not, It's not free drink pass, but yeah, you pay for the drink pass, where you get to have like so many, like 15 drinks a day. Yeah,
and while we're on the topic of cruises, like I hate to like shift it to literally a different cruise line, but that's Carnival, so that has like their hiccups, and a lot of people literally probably won't do Carnival after watching the documentary. But also too, the documentary that came out on Netflix, Amy Bradley is Missing, is literally surrounded around, it was a Royal Caribbean cruise. And let me tell you, I came across a Royal Caribbean post on TikTok, and people in the comments are like, I will never, where's Amy Bradley? Every comment is about Amy Bradley. Find Amy Bradley, because the Royal Caribbean like didn't do much to help find her.
So that's why you were looking into Alaskan cruises, because we're scratch Carnival off. I'm never going to Carnival cruise after knowing that I was literally on the ship boat. I could have been, if freaking things would have broke down 6 months sooner, I would have been on the ship boat.
Yeah.
And then with that's shady. I would not. No. So scratch those two.
Yeah.
If we ever go on a cruise again.
Yeah. Royal Caribbean, apparently, this was 1996 or whatever around the time, but that was like a long time ago. Hopefully they run background checks now.
And there's like so many islands between those places that they think that she's just being shuttled around island to island.
Yeah, that's just crazy. But cruises are kind of like under fire right now.
It's not a good time for cruises.
Somebody literally said that Netflix is trying to cancel cruises because they literally first they release about the poop cruise and then they release about Amy Bradley.
There's some propaganda about there's somebody in the higher powers trying to take down cruises because first, like with the pandemic, it was like, oh, we're not gonna go on a cruise. That's literally a floating petri dish, and everyone's everyone you can literally spread the virus on the whole boat or whatever. And then now it's like it's just coming back up from the pandemic, and
basically,
it's like, oh, poop cruise and Amy Bradley, like, oh, gosh,
that's crazy.
Oh man, I think Miss Rachel deleted my comment the other day on her profile.
You commented on her.
Maybe it's for the better because I never comment on anything, but sometimes I just get annoyed. I admit, sometimes you're having a bad day and you see something that just totally is like, this is just
you off.
so annoying. Well, I mean, not that I love Miss Rachel. Not that I'm saying she's wrong, but I'm just saying when you're, posting about oppression on an iPhone and on a Meta app and probably in your multi-million-dollar home, and just like it's a little hypocritical, especially when the next post is like, oh, buy my stuff, and it's like just all I said is, hey, just you want I love that you're using your platform for trying to get money and get your propaganda, not propaganda, but get your thing out. But it's just like, how about using your platform to make some more videos, huh? It just seemed like she kind of just gave up on that. Like she comes out with like one video a month. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's really what it is. And like, of course, like our daughter, she watches like a variety of shows, and she does, she is, I would say, a fan of Miss Rachel, but it's just like, as parents, we notice like patterns, like, well, hey, these other creators are actually putting in extra effort to their videos and not just like being like how Miss Rachel uses her platform. Like you said, it's sad to say, but like, she used to do like, she would do reaction videos to like toddlers and stuff, and she would post I guess affirmations or whatever. Maybe she still does that, but it's just a lot more that's coming across our pages is,
let's just say, I mean, she's doing it for the money. Like I mean, I know we all love and want to protect and love kids, but it's like when your first music career didn't work out, you started singing copyright.
She's actually on Apple Music. From
nursery
like
rhymes, yes, and of course that didn't work out, so you had to reinvent yourself, and that all power to you. But like, let's not forget, you got famous singing nursery rhymes, and how about we like, well, we go back to that. Just try to go back to that, okay?
Yeah, and it's honestly true. It's like at some point, as we can honestly probably speak for our daughter, and it's that like, yeah, she probably kind of gets tired of hearing the same, like, seeing the same clips and videos, because when new content does come out, which is very rare nowadays with Miss Rachel, it's literally just the same stuff.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I may take responsibility to be 100%. I'll be the douchebag here. I may maybe 100% wrong, but I just always have feel like I have a thing about people, and she doesn't strike me as just a 100%. We're all not perfect, but it's just there's something there that I'm like, I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. Maybe it's just like you can just see in some videos that she just like. She does get annoyed, and we've even like caught some clips where like she like literally in a room full of people right after she's like she's like right, you can tell her like feels like when the camera cuts she just like starts bitching at everybody. I don't know, there's something. If I'm like I said, I may be the douchebag, but if something comes out in the next couple years that she did this or that, I'm gonna be like, told y'all so. Told y'all so, especially when she's putting 1 million ads on her videos to try to make as much money off your kids.
Yeah.
It's like really, if it's really all about the kids, then why don't you make your stuff free?
Yeah.
And don't sue us because know you love money, but you ain't getting shit. No. All right, go back to Jertsky. Jertsky. Whatever his name is. I don't like that guy either.
No, apparently I just actually saw an article about her saying that somebody commented on her post saying, let's make Miss Rachel, or something about Miss Rachel is a billionaire by now. And that she actually responded and said, I could never be a billionaire. That's why I choose to give it away. But it's like, more honestly, yes, that's good. But also, too, like, how would you ever prove that?
True. Because when I looked it up, yeah, I'm not gonna go there, but it's look it up. It's not as much as you would think.
Yeah.
It's not as much as you would think. And then it's easy to tell people to buy your stuff so you can donate, and then you get a big tax write-off. That's another thing. So yeah, that's always, there's always loopholes. So like I said, yeah, I don't want to go more into that because that's another thing. Them Karen moms will freaking come at you quick, and I'm like, she doesn't care about you. She don't care about you.
Yeah.
But
honestly.
by all means, I still love her.
Yeah.
I still think your husband's a creep, but but I still love you, Miss Rachel. Make some more fucking videos.
Honestly, that's all we really want. Maybe we would stop complaining if we saw more content.
Yeah, no, it's just like you can tell she's giving up. But
Yeah.
I mean, I guess when you're that big, you can. You can take a step back.
Yeah.
Speaking of, while we're on kid shows, I want to talk about Gabby's Dollhouse.
Oh, brother.
Love the show. Great show. Great actors, voice actors, great content. Everything's good about that show. Now, that cat is drugged.
That's the only
That cat
the only
is
beef we
freaking
have
drugged.
with the show.
Yes.
It's creepy sometimes.
Yes, that cat, like every scene you see with that, I don't even know his name.
I don't know his name, but it's her like personal cat.
Yeah, like her real life personal cat. That cat is on. I've
He's
never
always
seen
so
a
still.
Yes, I've never seen a cat that lethargic.
And you know what it is too? I think we see it with our own eyes because our cat looks
exactly
like that one.
Our cat looks exactly like it, and
so we're like,
like,
she's never that chill.
No,
ever.
No, yes.
I
see again, the only time she was probably ever that chill is right after her when she got her surgery, when she got fixed.
Yeah, when she was under drugs.
She was like under amnesia. And then
anesthesia,
she would just literally
not amnesia.
Oh, anesthesia. Anesthesia.
Not the amnesia. Amnesia is when you forget. She was under the amnesia. What the hell?
Oh, gosh. Have you ever had that stuff on you?
What?
Have you ever had that
Anesthesia?
stuff? Yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah, I have once when I just had surgery on my little finger.
I know. Didn't your dad say, if you see the light, don't go near it?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because that's like scary.
Yeah. I try to fight it. They're like, count back from 10. I'm like, 10, 9.
Have you seen the ones
I barely got to 8.
Have you seen the TikTok videos where they literally like will be like, they try and
challenge it,
I would like to and they're like they're singing a song and then it's just like slowly like a freaking like a CD, like, yeah, you know what I'm talking about when the music slows down.
Yeah. That was a crazy experience.
Yeah.
Because like you feel like you're awake but you're not. It's just like you feel like you're just like you're just drifting for like 5 minutes, and then next thing you know it's all done.
Hopefully I never have to deal with that.
They're rubbing ice on my lips to try to wake me up.
Oh wow.
I woke up to these nurses. Hee 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 hee. I was like, what the fuck?
Just laughing.
She put ice on my gut.
Yeah, because they have like different methods. I know I saw this thing. It was like these surgeons like talked about what they listen to when they're performing surgery, and somebody was like, so one surgeon was literally like that they listen to what's that music that's like techno or like it's just like
oh yeah, like EDM or
EDM.
Yeah,
EDM. Yes, that's what it was. Yes, that a surgeon like listens to that. They all have their own ways of like when they perform surgery. Dang. But they all gossip and shit too.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like when we had our baby, I know they were gossiping about us.
Oh god.
Me and your mom got into a fight in the hospital.
Oh yeah.
It's funny, look, we can laugh about it now.
Definitely.
We can laugh about it now, but that was like, it was just high tension, high pressure.
It was really crazy.
Yeah, we didn't know what was going on. Everything just like kind of, we had a plan. Yeah, we've talked about it before. We had a plan, and then everything just got like shooken up, literally.
Super messed up.
And we were just like,
we literally went in with like, this is what's going to happen, and then it took like a complete, like, what is it, 180 or 360?
Mm-hmm. Well, see, now that we experienced our first child was like the hectic.
Oh god!
Version.
Now I can't wait for the calm too.
Yeah, it's gonna feel. So we're gonna be like, whoa, yeah.
Hopefully.
But
yes.
How long we've been going for? Is there anything else you want to get into?
Oh no, we've been going for like 40 minutes.
Oh wow! Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is good.
This is a good comeback. So okay, that's what another thing we need to tell our guests is that, or not. Okay. We need to tell our audience is that like we're kind of
well, technically our audience is our guests.
Yes, but when we have an actual guest, because that's basically all we've been having, so we want to kind of try and
we hope you really enjoyed and appreciated our guests. We love all our guests. Thank y'all. If any of our guests are listening
or watching.
We really loved and appreciate all those episodes, but it's time to go back to our roots. Yeah. We think we're going to really try to focus on we just get so booked up. We reach out to we reach out to people, or people reach out to us, It's really when we reach out to people that we, do it with, a couple people or, 3, 4, 5 people, because we really don't expect all of them to say yes. But then when they do, respond or say yes. So
it's
then
kind of like you feel obligated.
Not really. Well, yeah, I mean, because we want them on the show, but it's just like we don't think that like they would really do like like I said, we just don't think we're like good enough for them to say yes every time. Although we do get a lot of no's or no responses. So I guess to each their own. Yeah. Every time every 100 episodes we're going to ask Theo Vaughn to be on the show.
Yeah. That'd be
anyway
crazy.
Yeah, I feel like that was way too long of an explanation. See, we always just ramble and rant at the end of the podcast.
Yeah, it's
okay. But yeah, we'll try to get 1 or 2 guests, max 2 guests a month. But yeah, we just need to go back to episodes like this, like a catch up, like a news, what's going on episode, and then like maybe some deep dive episodes into like topics.
Yeah, and then because believe it or not, we literally have conversations like these like off the camera, and the amount of times that we say like literally we should be recording a podcast right now because we literally talk so much.
All the time. But and we really need. We just for the past 5 years we've been trying to get on a weekly schedule, and it's just, maybe this will be the year. Maybe this will be the year.
Time to get serious, guys.
Yeah, now it's time to get serious. 5 years in, it's time to get serious.
But so yes. Don't forget to follow us on Jobber Circle. We're headed there
Jobber
next.
Circle Wrestling. We love you. Bye.
Bye.